Morning Dream Team, it's Victoria here, hope you're all well. It's been a couple of days since I last posted and I'm sorry about that. So today's going to be a bit of a bumper day, which I know is not the way we're supposed to do it, but so much has been happening and I'd love to share it with you guys. Interestingly, since our catch up on Tuesday, Kim, this is for everybody, but the catch up that I had with Kim on Tuesday really released a lot of creativity and ideas. And so since then, time hasn't really stopped. In fact, time hasn't stopped at all. It's sort of flown and it's wonderful. It's something I wanted to share, and I've been wanting to share this for a long time. And it really, Tuesday was a very good illustration of this. And the last couple of days, all the various meetings I've had, it really illustrates the importance of something I really would love to share with you guys. And that is the importance of listening to our inner voice. I remember when I came to see you guys at Dream Team, briefly on the Thursday afternoon and then again on the Saturday, and I connected with so many of you. And I remember when I was speaking with Kim, there was this little feeling that, okay, I need to speak to her. We need to have a meeting. I don't know what we're going to be covering, but there's something there. And so when we had our meeting on Tuesday, all these ideas exploded. It's something I do with a lot of people. I really try and listen to my inner voice. The other word that we would probably use for it is also our intuition. For some, they are two separate things. For me, they are the same. And I listen a lot to my inner voice. I also went through a period of my life where I thought I was listening to my inner voice and realized that I wasn't. Logic kicked in and was telling me that an idea couldn't be done or a person wouldn't be interested in talking. And then as time unravels in the future, you realize that actually I should have listened to that inner voice. So what I wanted to share with you today is a little trick that I do, which helps me when it comes to making decisions. So I draw a triangle, literally a triangle, and at the top I write logic. On the right hand side I write emotion, and on the left corner I write intuition. And in the middle I would put my query or question, and I would ask myself the question and then ask what would be my logical response, what would be my emotional response, and what would be my intuition? What does my gut tell me? And I have found that it takes quite a bit of practice, but I have found that I can ask some pretty complex questions and get a relatively good response. And how do I measure that response? It depends on it's the result. It's the result that gets delivered. I'm going to start this exercise very simple. Should I go to a networking event tonight that someone's just invited me to? So what would be the logical responses? It would be a really good idea, but however, you already have another commitment and it's at the other side of London. It's going to take you an hour to get there. You don't know anyone who's going to be there. What are the chances of you not being able to find a contact or an opportunity? Emotion. An emotional response would be something like, wow, how exciting, somebody was thinking about me for this event and wanted me to come along. I could meet some really interesting people. It would be exciting. It would be an adventure. So you can probably already hear that there is a bit of a discord between logic and emotion. So emotion saying, yes, that'd be fantastic, go for it. Logic is saying, could be interesting, but is it worth the time to go and the effort to go? It's not that it's an immediate no, it's not that it's immediate yes, but there's a question mark. So one way that I find of sort of dealing with this discord between logic and emotion is asking intuition. What would my gut say? What does the inner voice in my head ask me and tell me? And more often than not, it would say, you silly little girl, you know what you need to do. You know what you actually want to do. And so for this example, it would be actually what my intuition is telling me is go to the event, make a point of speaking to 6 new people that you've never spoken to before, but limit yourself to an hour and go back home and spend the rest of the evening having quality time with your loved ones. Because actually for me, that is one of the most important things, and it's the most precious thing. And especially since becoming a parent, having time with Charles, who you've now met, just having some quality time, the two of us, doing something silly like playing cards or watching a film, means so much more to me now than it did 4 years ago before we became parents. So my intuition says, go to the networking event, make sure you know what you want to get out of it before you go. So do a little bit of preparation, spend my hour and come back. And once that decision is made, it makes life a lot easier because you already know what you want to do and your intention is there. Now, you may have already noticed the piece of art that's behind me, and this is something that is, I love it. This was on Charles's wall when I first met him over 8 years ago, and it still is just as powerful now as it was the first time I laid my eyes on it. So I'm going to move a bit to the side, and as you can see, it's a silhouette of a head. Now, when we look closer, there are 3 silhouettes that are black, and there are 4 silhouettes that are white. Now, next to it is the reverse. 4 silhouettes in black and 3 silhouettes in white. These are 2 very, very simple images, but every time I look at them, it reminds me that the answer isn't always the first thing you see. The answer lies in your inner voice. What was the inner voice saying? And it really came to light yesterday. I was at the Mega Speaker event in London, and I just arrived. I was a bit late because I had to see a client in the morning. I then arrived, and I was sitting right at the back because that's where there was a seat, but also actually randomly where I feel comfortable. And Coach Brent was there, and he just said, actually, could I have people who have been on Dream Team or at JT's house, could you please come up and stand? And I will tell you, I know I come across as a very confident person, but standing up in front of people is something, it takes guts for me, actually. And, but I did it. We went up on stage, and I was really proud that I did this. And we were all sharing our ideas, and this little voice in my head, this little voice kept saying, choose 2 people, choose 2 people. And so it came to me, I was the last one of the 6 of us that were standing there, and I explained about my journey, and that this all kicked off 9 months ago, and the number of Dream Teams I've attended, and the number of IMNs I've attended. And at the end, I literally just turned around and said to Coach Brent, I hope you don't mind, there's something I want to try. I think he was a bit surprised, but he let me go ahead. And I just asked in the audience, I said, okay, can I just have a show of hands? I just want 2 volunteers. And a whole field of hands went up. And I chose 2 people completely randomly. And I asked them to come up and stand beside us. And I gave them the mic. I asked them to turn around and just simply say their name. And so they did that. And I said, do you realize this is all it took? It's all it took for me to go from sitting in the audience to standing in front of it. It was a very tiny, tiny exercise, but the 2 of those, I could feel the 2 of them, they changed. They felt transformed. It was a tiny exercise. I don't know if they signed up. I don't know if we will see. I'll find out at the next few events. But it was about listening to the voice. And I don't know what the outcome will be, but it felt right to ask 2 people to come up and stand beside us so they also can see that this is actually achievable. And the smile on their face, for me, that was the best reward. So I simply wanted to share, listen to your inner voice. It is more powerful than you think. And the more it whispers, the louder you need to listen. Have a great day, Dream Team, and we'll speak later.